1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, هادي صفا.
ليش في ناس بس قليل هن اللي بينجحوا؟ ليه في ناس تانيين ركض ورا بعض عم يحققوا؟ صرنا عم نعطي دور للآخر أهم من دورنا الأساسي على حساب حالنا.
Hi everybody, welcome to Extraordinary People. I'm Patricia. I'm going to introduce to you my guest today. Words to the wise. Do they come overnight? They come through observation and listening, learning, reflecting, experiencing. My guest worked hard to gain these words of wisdom by overcoming many trials and tribulations in life, similar to the ones we all go through. He now communicates these words in his own unique approach to all who want to hear the message behind them. My guest's words of wisdom apply to each and every one of us. When listening to his thoughts, you think to yourself, could it be that easy? Yes, it can when you make the right choices. His calm demeanor and everyday language again make you think, could it be that simple? Yes, it can when you make the right choices. My guest made the choices that put him on the right path, the path of helping and supporting others, and clarifying their mind and teaching them that the choices they make today will form their future of tomorrow. My guest's decisions made his destiny. The most important message he would like to convey to us all: decisions make destinies. I am privileged to be a part of his decisions that led us to the destined path we are on today, and soon you will feel the same. Please welcome my guest, Dr. Hady Safa. Hi, Hady.
Hello.
How
Thank
are
you. What a
you?
beautiful introduction. Thank you very much.
Thank you for sitting with me today.
Pleasure is all mine.
You are definitely an inspiring person.
Thank you.
And I read your book, Decisions Make Destinies. I read it twice already. Yeah. And every time you come out with something new, like you make a new reflection on yourself about life and everything. So what brought you to write this book?
The main idea is this line, a self-reflection journey. I want to take the reader in a self-reflection journey. So it's not like a book that you read once and that's
Right.
it. So every time you read it, you can reflect on yourself in every phase of your life, not
Right.
only once or twice. That was the main idea. And this is
Okay.
why it took me 11 years
11 years.
in the making.
Right. Did you think about it 11 years ago, you mean?
Yeah, I started writing it 11 years ago. I started writing it in 2011,
Okay.
and I was writing chapter after chapter. I was testing them
Okay.
in my. I used to write the chapter, and then I used to put it online just to get the feedback from.
Like
from
a
the
blog sort of
yeah,
thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
It was on Blogspot, chapter after chapter, and then I re-edited and fine-tuned
Okay.
those chapters until I formatted somehow a good introduction, a good body, and then the summary for each
Yeah.
and every chapter. Accordingly, I started formatting the book in a form of a book, and it's not something easy. It was my first time.
It takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
And you
I'm
did it
still-
all on your own.
Yeah. I did it
Yeah.
all on my own. Even
Yeah.
the cover, I did it myself.
Yeah.
And I'm still work in progress. I mean,
Yeah,
this
you-
is my first trial, my first book, and I'm preparing my second one now.
Amazing. Looking forward to
yeah,
that one
yeah.
too.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it took you a long time. It took you about 11 years.
Yeah.
I mean, people change
Of course.
during that time.
Of
So I'm
course.
sure like you kept
The
reflecting
ideas
throughout those
changed.
10
Yeah,
years.
Yeah. The ideas changed. Some chapters were re-edited, rebuilt from
I can
scratch.
imagine.
Some information was
Yeah.
obsolete.
Right.
By the time I was reflecting on one of the chapters on social media channels. So even some new channels came up, like
Yeah,
TikTok and
you were
stuff.
just talking to me about something new today also.
Yeah. So
Right.
yes, it is always work in progress. It is always. I mean, you can't write something from scratch and accept it to be perfect from the first time. And during that time, I was working on standards. My company, the consultancy.
Yeah, I was going to
and
ask about
yeah.
that. Okay.
I was working on myself as a motivational speaker, as an author, I was traveling all over the world, left, right, and center, giving trainings and seminars. So, yeah, it was in between.
But I'm sure these moments gave you a lot of material
Of
for your book
course,
too.
of course,
Yeah.
of course. And there's also this thing about writing. You're just not in the mood every day for writing. Sometimes you have the idea, but you just, you're not in the mood for it.
Right.
You're not in the creative mode, let's
Right,
say.
right,
So you
right,
skip
right.
that day. Sometimes you skip days, even weeks, and then start all over again.
You get over the writer's block.
Yeah, yeah.
Who do you think this book is for? Like, do you think it's for professionals, or do you think it's for the new generation, or like who did you have in mind when you were thinking, or is just you let your thoughts out and then you think it's
No,
applies to everybody?
there's no target market for this book.
Okay.
It's for anyone who is willing to reflect on their decisions, on their day-to-day life, on their vision, on their way of seeing life, on their way of seeing their own values.
Yeah.
It's for anyone. And I love one of the readers at the beginning wrote me a very nice review about it.
Okay.
She said this book should be taught in schools.
It should, because the message, like decisions makes destinies, I don't see it everywhere,
Absolutely.
and it's sort of like it gives you the strength to take
Yeah,
control of
yeah.
yourself and to take responsibility of your own life.
Maybe because everything in our life is a byproduct of one major decision, or one minor decision even.
Yeah,
How much you sleep, what you eat,
yeah.
what you drink,
From the basics,
your
you mean.
lifestyle,
Yeah.
the daily decisions that you take very easily, up until the
Instinctively.
big ones.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I wrote in the book also a whole section about the source of our decision. Where is it coming from? Is it only rational? No, it's
Right.
not. So we have emotions, we have instincts, and we have thoughts, and this is the mix of those three
Right.
is the source of our decisions. So I guess it's dedicated to anyone who is willing to reflect on all that.
And to make a change for themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's so much self-help material out there.
Yeah.
There's so much.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube videos and social media accounts and so many books and everything. What is going on with us these days? I mean, why is it that we're not getting it? Because there's something new that's coming out all the time. You know what I mean?
I made a video recently about that, saying that talking is easy.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely easy. We
Right.
all know the right answer. We know exactly what we should do in order to have the
Right.
perfect body, in order to have the perfect life, in order to have the perfect financial freedom. We
Yeah.
all know the right answer, yet so little and not much of us actually do the action and do
Right.
it consistently in a way that it becomes a discipline so that they can end up having a successful path.
You think we procrastinate a little bit, or we're a bit afraid or anxious?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
what is
a
it?
mix of all that. It's a mix of some negative feelings that we do not deploy in the right way.
Okay.
That makes us procrastinate, that makes us put it off to the next day, that makes us say, you know what, I'll do it on Monday, you know what.
A bit of laziness.
Yeah,
sort of thing,
yeah. And it's hard work.
It
This
is.
is why mainly we procrastinate, because we know that it's going to be hard work.
Yeah.
I mean, registering your name at the gym is very easy.
Yeah, I was going to
Going there
ask you
every
about that.
day,
Yeah.
Going there every day is the tough part.
Right.
And being consistent in your exercises is the tough part.
Yeah,
Being
like you said, the
consistent
discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's another thought I was thinking. Because we make the decision. Like New Year's resolutions.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
coming soon.
yeah.
So, okay, New Year's resolutions. Okay, like you said, I'm going to register in a gym
Right.
and stuff. We decide that.
Yeah.
But how are we going to keep that motivation, or how are we going to keep
You see,
that motor
this
running?
is the difference between wishful thinking and actually working on yourself.
Okay.
So, New Year's resolution, I put a whole list. I'm going to be this, I'm going to be
Yeah.
that, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change that. These are all thoughts in my head. I know the right answer.
Okay.
And then the next day, business as usual.
Right.
Right? So, like 80% of the income of the gym comes from January.
Oh, really? I never thought
Yeah.
about that. You're right.
Everyone's just
Yeah,
registering
everybody
at the
wants to
beginning
get
of the
back
year.
into
Yeah.
shape, especially after holiday
Exactly.
eating. Right.
And then they put it off and they don't come while they paid the money. So it's not about that.
Okay.
It's about creating a pattern of behavior. And this creation of patterns will have to replace a negative pattern or an old pattern.
Right.
So this is where the hard work comes, because in order for you to instill a new habit, it doesn't take you 21 days, it takes you 66 days.
66 days.
Not 21.
Okay.
Where the beginning, you are getting rid of the old habits for 21 days, and then you're replacing them with new habits for another 21 days. And
Oh,
then,
I see. Okay, now I get
and then
it.
you're instilling the new ones, which is going to take you the rest of
And
the
it
time.
should be incremental by like little bits
Yeah.
and pieces. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be like a sudden change all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a major mistake people do.
Yeah.
They want to change drastically,
Right.
180 degrees the next day. It's not going to happen.
Like start exercising 10 minutes instead of 1 hour.
Yeah.
And then build it up from there.
And don't expect to get results before 3 to 6 months in the beginning. Don't expect that, you're going to go exercise and then...
But
next
you
thing
do get
know-
results after 3 months.
Yeah, you do get results after 3 months and
Yeah.
then 6 months, and
Yeah.
it's incremental again.
Okay.
But don't expect to get the best body in like 1 month.
No.
Oh,
No,
it's
it
going to
takes
take time.
Plus it takes dieting.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Same goes for studying, same
Right.
goes for working, same goes for finishing a project. It's baby steps
Baby
that
steps.
you
Yeah.
follow in order to change a pattern of behavior.
Right.
That's all it takes. It's as simple as it is. It's
Yeah.
very hard to.
Just like I said in the intro, it's simple, but
Yeah.
to apply it, you just have to have a lot of
Absolutely.
goodwill.
Absolutely. And I always get these comments on Instagram. Talking is easy. Yeah. Simply said, okay, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you're right.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done. This is why 80% do not do it and only 20% do it. Because of consistency, because of perseverance. And this is what you majorly lack in order to change.
Right. So, okay, we're talking a little bit about the gym and your physical self, but there's also the mental self.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to go about this in the opposite direction that people usually ask. So, unhappiness. What are the reasons of unhappiness? Like, I mean, I don't want to say what are the qualities or what makes people unhappy.
It's the same definition of a problem. So what is a problem? What is being unhappy? It's the current situation versus what you wish for. The current situation versus what you expected.
Okay,
And
so
then
they're
there's-
unbalanced.
Yeah, there's this
Right.
gap between the reality and your expectations. So if it was negative and the gap was big, then you're going to be unhappy. You're
Okay.
unhappy of the results you have on the table right now because you expected more
Right,
in any means of it.
true.
So in order for this not to happen, the first thing and the foremost is awareness. We need to be aware of what we want and what we're doing.
What our needs are.
Yeah.
Okay.
What we want and what our needs are two different things.
Okay,
But what we want to do and what we are actually doing. So if my self-image is not balanced with what I was thinking to do or what I had in plan or what I had in mind to do, then there would be unhappiness,
right,
right?
okay.
This is one thing. So after awareness comes the change. And change, as you said, it doesn't have to be, it's not going to work being drastic changes. It has to be baby steps to change. So I'm taking the graph 1% at a time,
Right,
1% of change every day in order for this change to be, to have an impact one and to be consistent.
and it'll accumulate
Right.
into like
To
a
get the
higher
results
level,
you-
right,
to
yeah,
get the-
higher
to the
level of
results you
happiness.
need. Once in a seminar of mine, I called one of the crowd, one guy from the crowd, and he's muscular. I was like, please, come over. He stood
Yeah.
beside me. I was like, okay. So here's a fit guy.
Okay,
All right, can you tell me those muscles, when did they appear?
yeah. You're
I was
asking
like,
the audience or
yeah,
you're asking
no, I'm
him?
asking him.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know. Like, okay, in which day in particular you saw some chest muscles
right.
or
Okay.
some biceps or some
Yeah,
triceps? And he was
yeah.
like, I don't know. They came out. They came out by
Hard
actually
work.
exercising
Yeah,
consistently.
yeah.
They didn't come out like once in a blue moon. So that's the whole point. When you are changing, change is about a pattern of behavior. It's not about an incident. Change is not an incident.
Right.
Change it's a habit.
Okay.
It's a habit replacing another.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess this is what distinguishes your book from other self-help books, do you think?
I've read tons of self-help books, and they all made sense to me. And I quoted them in my book.
You
So
did.
my book is a mix of my personal experience and the best of the best in those self-help books that I quoted them while I was presenting my own experiments and my own experience in it.
There is a lot of words of wisdom
Yeah.
from everybody in
Yeah.
history. I mean, it's not just...
Exactly. The thing is, what distinguishes the book is that I've added my personal experience in it, one. And two, as I told you, it's a self-reflection journey. It makes you think. It lights the bulb in your head about that idea or this idea that you can reflect on.
You give a few exercises in the
Yeah,
book,
yeah.
like the 5 values. right?
We never think of our values, you know?
What are your 5 values?
Well, integrity at the first place.
Yeah.
And this is the biggest chapter in the book.
Yeah, I read it.
Because I believe we need to work a lot on integrity, especially in Lebanon.
Yeah.
You know, we're the 4th generation of war,
Yeah.
of civil war, and things accumulated, generation after the other.
Right.
So definitely
A lot
we
of
need,
scars. Yeah.
We don't know what's happening to us in the first place. Our children, they don't know why we're doing what we're doing, why we are irrationally irresponsible the way we are today. So
Okay.
there's a lot of integrity
Towards
to be
the
taught.
nation, you mean?
Yeah, towards the nation,
And the community.
towards the community, towards
Right.
ourselves.
Towards ourselves, true.
Because at the end, it's all coming back to us.
Yeah.
Love is another big value to me.
What
But
kind
I
of
don't-
love, though?
Exactly. I don't see it the way people see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it as a love song. I don't see
Right.
it as a romantic story.
Right.
I
Not
see
Romeo
it-
and Juliet
No,
sort of thing.
no, not at all.
Okay.
And I'm not certainly. I mean, I'm not a good advocate of relationships either. Nevertheless, I see love as unconditional. I see love as
Right.
once you love someone, you're just giving without expecting anything in return. And that doesn't mean do not expect. As I said in one of the videos, love is unconditional.
Yeah.
Relationships are.
Okay.
Relationships are conditional.
Relationships are conditional.
Yeah, it's reciprocal.
But the way you make it sound about love, you make it sound as it's one way, the way you're defining it like
It should
this.
be one way without expecting what's gonna be in return. It should be one way if it was unconditional.
That's very reasonable.
Yeah. Yet, I hear it a lot, very dreamy,
Yeah,
right?
right.
But I see it this way, and I
Yeah.
cannot explain it sometimes to the people around me. I mean, I do silly stuff sometimes, and they ask, "Why are you doing this?" I mean, how come you're giving that person although they're not giving back, or how come you're providing that person
Yeah.
without anything in return? It's like love is unconditional. So,
Sometimes it feels good just to be good.
yeah. Like,
Instead
I think one of the main, one of the best happiness is the happiness of giving.
It is.
It's.
I agree.
think I think this is the best one. You can
Giving
you can be
without
happy.
expecting anything in return.
Yeah. Just by providing,
Yeah.
just by giving, you'd be 10 times happier than any form of joy.
Yeah, and seeing that
Yeah.
person smile.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just wonderful.
And that's my third value,
Which is giving.
giving.
Okay.
Yeah. The 4th and the 5th are variables. They change, and we should be changing our values.
I was going
Once
to
in
ask
a
you
while.
about that,
Yeah.
because we reflect all our lives and obviously we evolve.
Yeah,
I mean, we go through different steps of our lives.
Absolutely.
So
The way you saw things 10 years from
Right,
ago,
exactly,
it's
yeah.
not the same as 10 years from now.
Yeah.
And hence we need to have this change in the way we see things, the way we value things. And this comes to family, friends,
Exactly,
romance,
yeah.
finance, spirituality,
yeah,
your
spirituality.
relationship with yourself, your
Yeah.
relationship with the universe, everything else is a variable. And we don't have the final answers yet. This is why it's a variable.
So that's what you mean by your 2 last qualities are variables.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's more personal.
Not too personal actually, but I'm always reflecting.
Yeah.
This is why.
Yeah. That's good because it means your mind is open
Absolutely.
and you're
The
always
moment-
learning.
The moment you stop learning,
Yeah.
whether you're 20 or 80, you become old.
Yeah,
That's,
I was
that's
just-
Henry Ford.
Yeah, I was reading
Yeah,
that in your
yeah,
book. That's
yeah.
so true.
It is. The moment you say, you know what, I know it all. خلاص,
You
I'm
think
good.
it's a good, no, okay.
You're dead.
Yeah, I was
Because-
thinking more like le goût de vivre, you know,
Yeah.
the thrill of life or learning more about life. And
What
there's
is
so
the-
much
yeah,
to learn.
what's the thrill behind it? It's
Yeah.
actually your curiosity to
Mm.
know something new every day.
And kids are curious.
This is why they're more happy.
Yeah, so that's the child in us that stays
Yeah,
alive, sort
yeah,
of thing.
yeah. Today we learn something new about a new website,
Yeah.
new AI and stuff like this.
Yeah, they're so quick at that.
Yeah.
Isn't
So
that amazing?
let's just assume that we decided, you know what, I'll stick to Google. That's it.
Yeah, we do that.
We're
We
gonna-
have a
in a
tendency.
couple of years, we're going to be obsolete.
Yeah.
We're going to be old.
No, we're not going to be.
We're
We're
gonna
going to
be
be the
outdated.
child at heart.
Yeah, but we're going to be outdated in front of all the, the community around
Right.
us would
Okay,
be
I
all
see what you
taking
mean.
this
Yeah.
new trend and going further with it, and we're going to be obsolete because we're not going to, we're going to be sitting there not knowing what's happening around us.
We're not going to keep up with the
Yeah,
times.
it's the same as, let's say you're not holding an iPad now, you're holding a Nokia 3110,
Right.
all right?
Yeah.
Even the SIM card doesn't work on it now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the charger and everything.
Exactly.
So, who inspired you?
I got inspired by
Sorry,
many. Actually.
sorry,
Yeah.
just because even that changes over time.
Yeah. This
You
is
know,
why I
that's
told
a-
you I got
yeah,
inspired by
yeah,
many.
yeah,
Actually.
yeah.
My first inspiration was my uncle, the brother of my mom. He's an agricultural engineer,
Oh, okay.
but he used to, he made his career path, and then he opened on his own, and he grew.
He's an entrepreneur, right.
He started his studies in France. It was 100% funded. Okay, so he was an inspiration.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And then he started working for a company, and then a few years later he became a partner in this company.
So it's his drive that
So
inspired
yeah,
you?
it was his drive, it was his lifestyle, it was his
Right.
career path. The way I see him traveling all over the place, making deals here and there, and being a successful business entrepreneur by then was
Okay.
very inspirational. In such a hard time in Lebanon, there was war back in the days.
right.
So
There's
I was-
always some
yeah,
ups and downs
yeah,
here, right?
I was seeing him actually beating all the environmental blocks that he had during the war,
Right.
and there was a way that he did it. because
He'd
he
always
had
find a
will.
solution.
Yeah.
Right.
So he beat the odds. This is what got me inspired.
Okay.
Of course, throughout life, I got inspired by many speakers, authors, leaders. In
Like the celebrities
business.
sort of thing, yeah. The popular
yeah,
people, I
yeah.
mean, not celebrities as in
So
actors, but I mean,
a
the
bit
well-known.
a bit of Robin Sharma,
Right.
a bit of Yuval Noah Harari,
Yeah.
a bit of Anthony Robbins, not too much, but it's too American.
He doesn't take other cultures into consideration.
No, it's not about that, but he's
The mindset.
he takes
Yeah.
you through the American dream.
Right,
You know,
okay.
but,
Yeah, you can't apply that everywhere.
Yeah, you can't apply it everywhere. So I've read for many. I was inspired lately by a guy who's younger than me. The guy who did, what's the name of the book?
An author?
Blackout Moment, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know it.
Okay, so the book is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Oh, Mark Manson.
Mark Manson.
Right.
And then the second book, which is a book about hope, Everything is Fucked. So he's a blogger.
Okay.
He's not even an author, he's a blogger. And then he made it in such a way that's so easy to read.
He wasn't a journalist?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I first
Maybe I'm
saw his
mistaken.
blogs, and then
Right.
I saw the book, and then I read the book.
book
and I
is
fell in
really
love with
good.
the book. Yeah, because
And
it's
the
so simple.
title, it's simple and the title is
The title was-
misleading.
yeah.
You think like, what is he talking about? But it's,
Exactly.
no, it
Exactly.
makes a lot of sense
So
when you read the
it's
book.
practical self-development, and I'm from that side. I'm not from the positive thinking, 100%
Yeah,
side.
I'm with you on that one.
I call it toxic positivity.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one.
So this guy is, realistic.
He also tells you to make the right decisions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but in a different way.
Yeah. I mean, decisions are the main cause of your whole destiny, your whole life. I did not invent this. I only reflected on it.
Even though I read Mark Manson's book, and that is the main message, but I took it a different way. But the way you phrased it, it made me think a little bit deeper about that. And you're so right about that.
Yeah, because, I mean, today we are the products of a decision that we made yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's not about only small decisions. It's also the big decisions.
Right.
What you decide to learn, what you decide to unlearn, what you decide to major at, who you're going to marry.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
When you make your own decisions and you empower yourself and it means you value yourself.
Absolutely.
This is self-love.
Right.
For me, this is the right self-love. It's
Right.
not just looking in the mirror and saying, oh, wow, I'm great and I'm wonderful.
Of course,
It's,
of course. And sometimes, I mean, in the book also, I reflect on the decisions that we did not make, but somebody made for us. Mm-hmm. And we are the products of those decisions.
true.
So,
Especially
the
in a conservative
importance-
culture.
Yeah, the importance of self-love, the importance of taking responsibility for your own decisions, for your
Right.
own destiny as a result.
We all have the potential to do that.
Right.
We just need to make the right decision.
And take responsibility, take accountability for our own life.
Life is full of lessons.
Right.
I mean, I learned from lessons in life, so did you, and this is what brought you to write your book and everything. Why are a lot of people not learning lessons? Even me, I probably repeat some of my mistakes, but it's like, why is it that we go around and
You see,
we do this again
I
and
guess
again and
life
again?
treats us with lessons differently. At school, you take the lesson and then you go for the test. Life gives you the test and then you learn the lesson.
Oh, but the opposite way, yeah. True.
And sometimes
Nice way to put it.
sometimes you go through the test wondering what's happening and wondering afterwards what the hell happened
Yeah.
without knowing or without getting the lesson from it. So it gives you back the same lesson over and over again until you reflect
Until
on
you get it.
and until you finally get it.
Until it slaps you a few times, like, come on.
It gives it to you on levels. Sometimes it makes it even harder and harder and harder until you finally reflect on it and learn. And that, I guess this is the difference between getting older and getting wiser.
Yes,
Because a lot of people get older, but they don't get no wiser.
they don't get wiser.
Yeah, because of that.
That's
Mainly
also
because of
a
that.
question of opening your mind and awareness, like you were saying before. You have to be aware.
And it's like what Einstein defined insanity.
Oh, how did he define
He
insanity?
defined it as keeping on doing the same thing over
Right,
and
you
over
put
again.
that in the book also.
And
Yeah.
and expecting different results. So if I'm gonna do the same thing, I'm gonna get the same results.
Yeah.
Let me do it differently. We tend to either give up on something that we're doing, or we tend to keep on doing it the same way, hoping it would work.
It's kind of like comfort zone, but it's not comfortable actually.
It's
It's
a
a
comfort
fear.
zone in the way you do things,
Yeah.
and that you don't want to change,
Right.
and that hoping for the change to happen from the outside, not
Yeah.
from the inside.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. How did you overcome like the difficult moments? Is there like any specific moment that
I
you
guess I
remember?
was talented since childhood to look at things this way, to look at things in a reflective mode. I was always in a reflective mode.
Okay.
You see, I was the shortest, the skinniest of my class.
Yeah.
Up until 13 or 14 years old, everybody was, growing up, growing beards, mustache and stuff, and I was like the skinny little boy. I got
You came out a bit later.
I got a bit taller maybe, but I was skinny still. So I had to reflect on, okay, what can work for me? So let's say I was in the football team.
Yeah.
I could not compete with the, big bodies and, big muscular shapes.
Okay.
So I decided to take the goalkeeper side.
But don't you have to be like big and tall to be a goalkeeper?
Not necessarily. You know
Okay.
why?
Well, it's
Because
not
I'll tell you,
professional
because
anyways,
at the age of 14, 15
Yeah.
year old, no one wants to play the goalkeeper.
Right.
Everybody
that's
wants
true.
to be in
It's
the action.
underrated here
Yeah,
in this
it's
country.
underrated.
Yeah.
So I took it to another level. I took it to the level of the star of goalkeepers.
And did you
So I
become the
shined
star?
in it, yeah.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
So I shined in it for a
Yeah.
few years. And then, you know what? I got bored.
Ah.
So I decided to move to basketball.
You became too good in that.
Yeah. I used to master every hobby I take. I used to learn it until I master it. And then,
That takes a lot of dedication and discipline.
but then you just lose interest.
Hmm.
So I did football, then I did basketball, then I did tennis, then I did table tennis, then I did partially it was music also.
Yeah.
I played piano, I played guitar, I played oud, I painted.
Do you still do those
So-
things?
Yeah, they're all hobbies now.
Yeah.
But a jack of all trades is a master of none. And this is what I learned.
But
So in
you're a
order-
master now.
I'm a master in something different.
Yeah, something different.
Yeah, but I did not master any of them. I mean, I'm seeing DJs. I used to be a DJ
Yeah.
as a hobby. I'm seeing DJs who were with me in the same radio station, who were with me in the same career path and the same track,
Right.
that are stars today. They do concerts left, right, and
Yeah,
center.
but it's by
it was
choice.
a decision, exactly.
Yeah, I was just gonna
It was
say.
my decision
Right.
to quit.
Okay.
To quit DJing, to focus on business, to focus on what I'm gonna be good at.
Because
which
this is
human
what you
resources.
wanted.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
stay in DJing, you would
Absolutely.
have excelled in it.
Unlike those hobbies. Those hobbies, they are still hobbies. I don't do them frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, I did not, I used to, maybe as a child, I used to get bored easily. This is the creative section.
Maybe it's the
in my head.
curiosity,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
learning,
yeah.
the continuous learning that you want
Right,
to do something
right.
new.
Right, maybe.
Because when you write, this is very challenging.
Yeah.
And as you write, you're always learning something new. I mean, I feel like you travel in a different world all the time.
Exactly. And even when you're reading, I see reading a book for someone is like having coffee with them.
Yeah,
Yeah. I once read this quote, and I still believe in it.
yeah.
I believe that if I'm reading a book for someone, I'm like having coffee with them. I'm listening to their opinion, and this also gives you the openness of reflection again.
So we talked about the bad moment. What about the good moments?
There were many good
Do you
moments.
learn from them also?
Of course, you learn from. Okay, maybe not the good moment. The result is
Yeah.
always,
Because you take it for
fine.
granted,
Because you
maybe?
take it for granted once you reach to it.
Yeah.
Once you reach to the goal,
Yeah,
you find it, behind you. What's
Okay.
next?
yeah.
But the journey to it,
Yeah, exactly.
the journey achieving it, is what keeps us learning. And I don't think anyone have learned in a comfortable environment. While sitting there doing nothing, you don't learn. There was this metaphor for the ship. That the safest place for that ship is at the
At the
harbor.
harbor,
But it's not what ships are made for.
right.
They're made to be in the sea. They're
Yeah.
made to be,
To go for adventure.
exactly. So
Well-
it's the same as us. While we are at the harbor, we're not learning anything.
I think people sometimes, I think they have it wrong. They try to picture the end goal when, like, that's what they say to motivate you.
Yeah.
And then they say that it's better to picture yourself in the process, working towards your goal. This is what will help you get there more than just picturing the end result.
Yeah.
If you
because
picture
picturing-
yourself
yeah,
working more than picturing the end result.
Right, because picturing yourself working will actually give you an idea of what it's going to take.
Gives you direction.
Yeah, it gives you direction for the hard work it's going to take, for the time, for the effort it's going to take, so you wouldn't take it for granted.
Right.
You wouldn't try once and twice and say, you know what, I give up. So, yeah, it makes sense.
If you had to do something over again, what would you do?
I would redo my education the right way.
That's the same thing as me.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because I did not do it the proper way.
Right.
I mean, I did it the very, very hard way, and I'm
Yeah.
not really satisfied with it. Although I have a PhD, I'm not satisfied with it.
Well,
I'm not
because you're
satisfied with my
you're in a
masters.
constant quest for learning.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I started off at AUB. I hope I graduated at AUB. I didn't.
Oh.
I had to stop. I had to, for financial reasons, I had
Okay.
to stop. And then I had to finish learning anything. I learned hospitality management,
That's how you started.
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah.
And then I started working, and then I finished my my bachelor degree by correspondence with a lousy university in the UK.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And
in
how how
2004.
difficult. There was no internet or anything like that.
And you wouldn't learn, actually.
Yeah.
Learning is like in the class with the project team, with
And talking with
doing
other people.
thesis,
Yeah.
Exactly. So you don't do this when it's correspondence.
What degree did you get from that?
Bachelor degree in business administration, and then I did my master's in HR,
Right.
also
Where?
by correspondence.
Oh, okay.
And then my PhD. But if I have to redo it again, I would do it in person.
Yeah, on site.
I would do it with classmates. I would do
Mm-hmm.
it with teachers live and not by correspondence. I'm not satisfied with it.
Okay. But I mean, you could be happy with what you've accomplished
I'll
so far.
tell you. I mean, PhD was mainly because I wanted to open my own company. In 2007, I decided. 2009, I opened my own consultancy and training
Yeah.
company.
So you wanted a title for
So
this?
I was 34 and I wanted some credibility for training and for consultancy. So I sought after PhD.
Okay.
Beside that, I don't.
That's
believe in
very
titles.
interesting. That's I'm amazed that
It's a
you're
bit
saying
bold,
that
huh?
out. Yeah, I'm amazed you're saying that out loud. But it's
Yeah,
nice to
yeah,
know because it makes people think also.
I'll tell you something. It's not the title, it's not the car, it's not the status that make you. You make them.
Yeah.
And I was taking it just for that credibility of opening a consultancy and training company, and that's it.
And then you proved yourself through your work.
Exactly. So it was never in my ego to say Dr. Hady.
Yeah.
No, just Hady.
Yeah.
I studied this. خلاص, it's over.
I
It's
was
behind.
we were talking about this before, and because you were kind enough, and I got a book from my friend, your book, and she said, "Oh, he's such a humble person," because you had a bit of interaction on social media, and I told her, "Yeah, he is. I didn't realize it because we're friends from before, but it's true. You're so down to earth and approachable,
I'll tell you,
and I'm just amazed that you said that out loud. I didn't know that about you."
Thank you. I consider people who follow me on social media or anyone who speaks to me in the streets, they recognize me or whatever, I consider them really not as followers but friends. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not someone who's, I'm not an artist, I'm not a singer, I'm not a public figure. I'm just a guy who's doing some reflections daily to light that bulb for you. And that's it.
That you use one of your values, you're giving, you're
Yeah,
sharing
absolutely.
your reflections.
And from my sharing, I'm converting clients because I'm doing things in parallel. So you have to be coherent in what you're promoting and what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I cannot just go and promote self-development, and when you ask me for a self-development course, I'd say, no, I don't do this.
Yeah.
Doesn't
You can't
make
say you
sense.
have to diet and then go eat a pizza,
Yeah,
pizza on your own.
Or let's say you ask me for a coaching session or a speech or a consultancy, and you know what, I don't do this. This is not my major. This is not what I do.
What kind of feedback do you get from the people you consult? No, just
It's-
simply. I'm asking you, not out of pride
it's
or
always,
anything.
It's always, 90% of the times it's that word. It's simple, straightforward.
It is.
Because I don't tend to, make it philosophical by any means.
You don't use complicated words.
Yeah, using simple words, getting simple words to simple people up to,
Like everybody can
philosophers.
relate to what you're saying.
Yeah. And this is how you get the message to the other person. And here you're talking to the masses, so you have to keep it simple and to keep it very stupid, very, edible for the people.
We're human.
Absolutely.
So are you. And the man of wisdom and the man of insight. How do you stay reasonable all the time? I mean, do you get angry? Do you
Who told
cry
you so?
sometimes?
I get
how-
angry, I get furious, I get sad, I get mad, I cry, I laugh, I play. I do everything as any ordinary person, and whoever says doesn't is a big fat lie.
Yeah.
We are human. We have to be this way. We have to let our emotions out. But what I say, or what's different in my thoughts, is that, use those negative emotions to learn. use those negative emotions to develop yourself. Like, for example, you hate something. Okay, instead of, moaning and crying about it, hate it, do something to prevent it. Do something so that you wouldn't be in the same situation again later on. You envy someone, use that envy to develop yourself.
Right.
So that you could be as good as him or her.
Or better.
Yeah, but don't use the envy to discount the other person.
So let it out, breathe,
Exactly. Use
and
it.
then work on
Yeah,
yourself.
Yeah, use it for
Right.
your own selfish development.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole difference. There's a chapter in the book called "Laugh at It Now," where if I'm telling you a story now 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and I told the story, I guess one of them was I put on a fire at home.
You put that in the book?
Yeah, a fire.
Right.
At home.
Okay.
It was an accident. It was a silly accident.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I'm,
now I
if I'm
remember.
telling you about
Right.
it now, we would laugh.
I'm thinking
Like
of a
that.
bonfire. Yeah, okay.
But at the time,
Yeah.
it was devastating.
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
So I was reflecting on what's happening with us. Sometimes we take it too extreme and we take it too sad and too mad and too angry that we do not focus on laughing at it while it happens. So, okay, I made this mistake. Silly me, I should have done this, I should have done
Yeah.
that. So I reflect on it this
Yeah.
way and taking it easy on myself because I don't have to keep beating myself up.
That's another
For a
thing.
mistake.
We shouldn't take things personally so much.
Yeah.
Because everybody goes through ups and downs.
You know what happened today, actually?
Yeah.
I had a talk for a group, and we agreed on everything by WhatsApp and by calls, and they said 8:30, you have to be in Fatah, and I'm going to speak to a group of people, etc. So I went 8:30 in the morning. I woke up at 6, went there, and I was in Fatah at 8:10 a.m.
Okay.
And then I texted,
Where's everybody?
full of confidence, I texted them, hello, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I got the reply on the message with the reply on the hour that was suggested, 8:30
Right.
p.m. and not a.m.
Oh.
So yeah, I laughed. I laughed about it. It's my mistake.
You go for a jog or something at this
Exactly.
time.
So I woke up early. I went there. I traveled like 100 kilometers until I
my
reached
God,
there.
that's so
But it
far.
was my mistake, so I was laughing about it. I was lousy me.
Did you really laugh about it from the first
Yes,
second?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes, seriously, I did.
Not even
Because
like,
it was-
oh, jeez, how did I do that?
Yeah, it's gone. It's behind me.
Yeah.
So the minimum you could do is, in self-discipline,
Yeah.
is to laugh about it because I'm okay.
It's not worth getting
Yeah.
upset because
No,
it's
no.
done. I mean, you can't
It's
do
done.
anything about
You
it.
can't do anything about it, and you have to learn from it. So it's just okay. I have to learn on how to have some more attention to details.
Yeah.
On what I'm reading on WhatsApp while
Yeah.
I'm doing 1,000 other things.
When you talk to your kids,
Yeah.
because it's a bit different. There's a
Yeah,
little bit of
yeah.
more of an emotional connection.
Absolutely.
Do you say the same exact thing to like maybe
Yes.
a group of?
Yes. Sometimes, we all, lose temper sometimes.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, because you could be yourself even more with your children, for
right,
example.
right. But
Yeah.
I always reflect on the words I'm using with them because
You weigh them in your
yeah,
mind.
yeah, and I always reflect on their age and what I used to think when
Yeah,
I was their
exactly.
age.
Yeah.
And this is how I ameliorate the message before.
I saw you talking with your kids. You're like the ideal dad.
Sometimes it's blunt. Maybe I'm lucky to have a similarity of age of generations between me and my kids. I take advantage of this.
Yeah.
We play with each other's. We go out with each other's.
Yeah.
My wife is very helpful with them also. So I guess I'm lucky in this part.
Yeah, of course.
It's always a reflective state of mind.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Yeah.
When we think of how we used to, sometimes when I think about my kids, like how I used to talk and how you learn and everything,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they have to go through it with me. But
Plus,
I mean,
I did a whole process of studying them, studying Generation Z, getting to know what differs them, the way they think from the
How
way
did you
we
study
think.
them?
It was Corona. I had to do. It was
Oh, okay.
COVID-19. I had to do some, some self-development.
Yeah, and to do
So I
something.
went on edx.org
Oh, okay.
and I found a course called Leaders of Learning by Harvard.
Oh,
And
there's a course just to learn
yeah,
about Gen Z?
yeah.
Oh.
Part of it was learning
Oh, okay.
on Gen Z. And no, it was mainly on how to shift from the traditional way of teaching to teaching a way that could resonate with Generation Z.
Yeah, because they're in like a bubble, not a bubble, boiling moment for them.
Yeah.
They're like rebelling about a lot of things right now.
They're right.
Yeah.
They're right. I mean, this is a generation that does not have to wait for the information from the teacher or from the parent or from anyone. Information is there
Yeah.
for them. It's on the internet, they can access it
But they
anytime
have to make
want.
the decision to learn.
Absolutely. And they have to make the decision on what to learn
Yeah, exactly.
and what to unlearn.
Not just dance steps and
Yeah,
things that are
yeah,
trendy
yeah.
and things like this. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not easy finding your passion, and you're not going to find it from day one, and you're not going to find it at the age of 15
Yeah.
or 20 even. Sometimes your passion changes.
It changes,
So
exactly.
accordingly, the boldness to change, the boldness to unlearn in order to learn, that's what differentiates success from failure. Because some people take it to extremes. They are not happy with what they're doing and they're still doing it for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And when you tell them, go on, change, do
Yeah.
something, it's too late, khalas. I have experience in this field, I'm not going to change it.
Yeah, that's also a question of character.
Yeah, yeah. A question of, I think the number one value in the workforce planning today, the number one value in the marketplace, which is agility.
To
You
be able
need-
to change
Yeah, you need
and
to be
adapt to
agile.
new situations.
Absolutely, every single day.
True. And
Every
things are
single
going
day.
so fast now. It's
Very
incredible.
fast, very
Yeah.
fast. I mean, there are positions today that were not here just 5 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, they add new words to the dictionary that I've never even heard of
Right,
every year.
right, right. So we need to have, a faster coping mechanism and more agility every day in absorbing new information and unlearning what we know.
Right.
Decluttering that closet.
Yeah, decluttering.
Yeah.
Yeah, you clarify. Oh my God,
Right.
that's like a savior for when you open your mind and you know how to
Yeah.
organize yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes we sit in the comfort zone of that clutter. This is what I know. This is what I know. This is what I do. This is how I live, and khalas, I don't want to change
It's
anything.
time for spring cleaning.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah,
We have to.
we feel so fresh. Just think of the feeling of spring cleaning, how fresh we feel afterwards.
Right.
That could be a bit of a motivator. So I read today one of your stories, and I think this is the main message of your book,
Yeah.
obviously. You are today the result of a decision you took yesterday.
Right.
Are you going to decide to stop smoking
I'm in the process.
in the process?
Yeah, I used to smoke for like, 30
Sorry,
years
I'm
now.
asking that. I
No,
don't
really. I used to smoke for the last 30 years.
Yeah?
So it took me also, it took me like 2 months to change between a regular cigarette and the IQOS, which I referred to first as, they were asking me about IQOS, and I was holding a cigarette in my hand, and I said,
Right.
well, this is sex.
This
is masturbation. So the way I referred to IQOS was like, no, this is not smoking. It's not. I'm not gonna do it in any day.
So this is a good way to
So it's a
breed
good
it out of your
It's
system,
a good way
sort of
to
thing?
to have a transition
Okay.
out of smoking. So cigarettes, IQOS. 2 months later, no smoking.
Well, I hope you'll be able to do
Yeah.
it. It's one of the
Transitioning, again, it's baby steps.
It's one of the most difficult habits to get rid of.
Not really. If
No?
you take it as the same philosophy I'm talking about, baby
Yeah.
steps,
Yeah.
and getting new habits and instilling them and getting rid of old habits,
Okay.
it's gonna take you a process. And if you go through it,
Okay. So we're gonna make a deal.
yeah,
In 6 months, we'll do another podcast.
another podcast.
Maybe you'll have your other book out. Maybe not. At the
Not
time,
yet, yeah.
we'll see, and we'll see where you are with your
Yeah,
smoking
yeah,
habit.
yeah.
Deal?
Where I am in my smoking. Well, I always I always
Don't
have the
procrastinate.
statement. No, I have the statement. If you're gonna quit something today,
Yeah.
don't say I quit smoking. Let's say.
Yeah.
No. In 6 months from now, you'll hear me saying, I'm not a smoker.
Yeah.
It's
So
not
you
like
take
I
out the
quit
negative
smoking.
word.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not a smoker.
Yeah, that's a better way to put it.
Yeah. So until then, yeah, it's a process. We're on the right track so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before ending, because I'm going to end it in a special way, but I just want to say thank you so much
Pleasure.
for
was all
sitting
mine.
with. And I have to say, you were the first person that knew about me wanting to do a podcast, and you've encouraged me since the beginning. And I really, truly appreciate your support.
You know,
Thank you so
I
much.
believe you have so much of substance and content, and
Thank
you
you.
have so much of the integrity to speak to someone on a podcast that I believe can take you places.
Thank you so much, Hady. I really
Pleasure
appreciate
is
it.
mine.
But
Pleasure is all mine.
we're still not finished. I just want to finish with this new thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay? So, what makes the ordinary extraordinary?
That's beautiful. I guess it's only one sentence. Doing it with passion.
Doing it with passion.
Yeah. Take anything. I mean, take a job, a regular job, an ordinary job. If you do it with passion, it becomes extraordinary.
Yeah.
Take a relationship. If you're just going out, if you're dating, if you're having sex, you're just having it.
Yeah.
If you're doing it with passion, it becomes making love,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it becomes
With
extraordinary.
more attachment
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
Okay. I like that. So, and these are a little bit more fun questions.
Yeah.
So, coffee or tea?
Coffee, absolutely.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Basketball or football?
Football.
Football. Real or
Real
Barça?
Madrid.
I knew the answer before.
I'm a Madridista.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, DJing or playing a musical instrument?
Right now, DJing.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Still? Yeah, you went back to it a little bit.
I always have the set at home. I always, do some jams and stuff. And yeah, I prefer DJing nowadays.
70s, 80s, or 90s music, or any decade?
I used to DJ in the 90s. So 90s music.
So
or
your heart
something.
is there.
Yeah.
Okay, reading or writing?
As much as I would love to say writing, but I enjoy reading more.
Fiction or non-fiction?
Non-fiction.
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 You never go into fiction at all?
No. I never recall that I read a novel. I don't. I just.
I'm going to suggest a good one for you. And you have to read it, but it's a good one. You'll
If
like
it stimulates me.
It will
I-
stimulate
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
Okay. Introvert or extrovert? What are you?
Extrovert.
Oh, you're an extrovert.
Yeah.
Okay. Youth or wisdom?
Of course, wisdom.
Yeah.
But youth is something inside us. I mean, Eric Byrne says we have these three ego states in us: the parent, the adult,
Yeah.
and the child.
Yeah.
So keeping the child alive is all it takes. You can be wise and you still have a baby mind.
So the wisdom
Child
is to keep the
mind.
child inside of you.
Absolutely.
So
To keep
wisdom then.
nurturing it.
Yeah, nurturing the child. Okay. Traveling the world or traveling through books?
Traveling the world.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunsets.
Sunset.
Yeah.
Ordinary or extraordinary?
Absolutely extraordinary.
Thank you so much, Hady.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
It was a real pleasure to have to be in the podcast with you. You're a lovely soul,
Thank
and I'm
you.
sure this podcast will make a very good, an excellent legacy.
That's a
in the
lot
future.
for me.
No, it
Thank
is
you
because
so
what we're
much.
doing basically, all the content is just legacy
Yeah.
for generations to come.
Well, we want to send a good message to people.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And decisions make destinies. Thank you, Hady.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.